Hey everybody, this is Mr. Lee. So this is a dedicated video talking about testing in my math classes. So I want to review my AI policy with you briefly. Then we're going to talk about the testing center some, and then talk about HonorLock. So my AI policy, you're welcome to use AI tools. You guys probably are more familiar with AI tools than I am, but ChatGPT, Wolfram Alpha, Mathway, MathGPT. There's a lot of tools out there. Pilot. There's a lot of AI tools out there, and you can use them as a learning aid on homework assignments. And there's a lot of value in using aids like that. When it comes to labs, you need to produce human-created work. You're not going to receive credit for work that looks like it's been spat out by a computer. And then there are no AI tools allowed on tests. Since there's no AI tools allowed on tests, your tests need to be proctored. There are two ways to go about getting your test proctored. So we're going to talk about the testing center, and we're going to talk about HonorLock. Everything I'm about to go over is in the HonorLock how-to document that I will include in Blackboard. So what I'm about to show you is going to be, this document is available through the course. Okay, so we're going to talk about the problem with HonorLock. So HonorLock is an online proctoring software that you access through Blackboard. It is free to use. HonorLock can be frustrating. I have had a lot of students in the last year that have been using HonorLock that have had frustrating experiences with HonorLock. HonorLock is very taxing on your internet connection. It oftentimes will not work over your home Wi-Fi. So it can be frustrating. Because of this frustration, I really encourage students to take the test in the testing center if at all possible. If you're able to come to campus, you're going to have a much smoother test-taking experience there than you will trying to wrestle with HonorLock. Proctoring on campus is free. You can make an appointment through the URL I provided here. You want to sign up for a 2-hour computer online exam. The testing center is in the Strickland building. Parking lot CC3, my picture here is not great. Parking lot CC3 behind the building is a great place to park. That's going to be the wing closest to the testing center. If you get lost, if you're having trouble on campus, the front desk is used to helping people find the testing center. They do this all day, every day. You're welcome to go to the front desk in the Strickland Center and ask for directions, and they'll walk you there. If you have any issues at all with the testing center or with the process, please reach out to me. I'm happy to help. I won't be, well, I'm on campus off and on a lot. If I'm on campus, I'm happy to walk you over to the testing center if that's helpful. Okay. On exams, whether you're using HonorLock or the testing center, let's talk about what you can and cannot use. You are not allowed to use cell phones during the exam. All tests have a 2-hour time limit. There are about 15 questions. You are not allowed to use a cell phone during that time. You are not allowed to use an iPad. You are not allowed to use an outside calculator. No outside electronics are allowed in the testing space. You are not allowed to use a textbook. You are not allowed to use your notes. No notes, no outside books, no outside electronic devices. If you're suspected of using any of these items, your exam grade will be nullified. So that's a big deal. That's not something I want to see happen. So plan accordingly. You are allowed to use Desmos. The testing center, I provided the testing center with the URL for Desmos. Both the Desmos graphing calculator and the Desmos scientific calculator So if you want to know what the difference is, I can show you that. So the Desmos scientific calculator looks like this. I find it to be a very ergonomic calculator for just calculating stuff. And then the Desmos graphing calculator, I took a screenshot of it there, but it looks similar. It looks, well, I lost it. It looks like this picture. Oh, there we go. Okay. You can do everything in the graphing calculator that you can do in the scientific calculator. I just find the scientific calculator a little bit more ergonomic. So you can use either of those. That's fine. You're also welcome to use blank paper. So not your notes, but you're welcome to use blank paper. And you're also welcome to use split screen, which I think is really helpful. I am not the best at getting it to work. Let's see if we can get it to work here. That and that. Okay, so you can have your test up on one side of your screen, and you can have Desmos up on the other side of the screen. And that's great. I think that's a great way to lay things out where you can see everything at once. All right, I don't need that right now. All right, so we're going to shift and talk about HonorLock specifically right now. Let's say you're not able to come to the testing center, you're not able to come to campus, you have to do this at home. The room scan in HonorLock is really important. If you do not show your workspace, if I don't know what you have in front of you while you're taking the test, your test grade can be nullified. It's really important for me to be able to see, oh, the only thing you have in front of you is blank paper and some pencils, that's fine. But the only thing you have in front of you is pencils or pens and blank paper. All right. So we're going to go through the HonorLock process a little bit. You can find the HonorLock link towards the top of our course in Blackboard. Then you'll need to click on an assignment name. It's going to need to add an extension, an HonorLock extension to your computer, and you're going to need to use the Chrome browser. If you do not have Chrome on your computer, you need to download it. HonorLock will only work with Chrome. It's going to ask you to add an extension. You want to add that extension. And I would like to be able to click through this with you, but the faculty side looks a little bit different than the student side. So I couldn't figure out how to show this to you other than through screenshots. But you'll add the extension. It's going to ask you to agree to the terms of service. It's going to ask you to run a system check. I encourage you to take the time to run the system check. It's going to remind you what you are allowed and not allowed to use. And then after you run the system check, you want to click on the begin authentication process. Again, this how-to document is included in Blackboard. So if I'm scrolling too fast right now, you can go back and look at it. Okay. It's now going to move to a pop-up window, and you need to follow these instructions carefully. Otherwise, you're going to have to clear a bunch of cookies and cache to get HonorLock to work. So you would click the continue button. When it gives you this pop-up, you need to make sure you click allow. If you click never allow for HonorLock, HonorLock is not going to work on your device, and you're going to have to clear your cookies and cache in order to get it to work. That's a pretty involved process. So I really encourage it, make sure you click one of the two allow options. Okay, it's going to ask you to allow, again, one of these is for the microphone. This one was for the camera. All right, it's going to ask for a photo ID. You're going to have to hold up a photo ID. There's me holding up a photo ID. You're welcome to use your student ID. You can use your license. You can use a military ID. If you have like a high school ID or a college ID from another school like Winston-Salem State, you're welcome to use those as well. It's going to ask you to share your screen, and you're going to have to click on the screen itself in order for it to let you share it. There's only one option. This is a little silly, but this is the way it works. Okay, yeah. Share the entire screen. If you don't click on share the entire screen, it's not going to give you the blue share button. Okay, it's going to ask to do the room scan. Remember, the room scan is really important. That lets me know what is in your workspace while you're taking the test. You need to show that all you have is blank paper. All right, after that, you're able to actually navigate to the assignment itself. The assignment is password protected, but HonorLock knows the password. So you'll navigate to the assignment in Blackboard. Once you get to it, you will click, I have found my assessment, and HonorLock will enter the password for you. There is a toolbar on the bottom of the screen while you're running HonorLock. You can expand it or make it smaller. If you expand it, you can find assessment details. This is really important. Assessment details is going to make your life a lot easier. Assessment details is where you find the allowed URLs. So how do I get to Desmos while I'm using HonorLock? You would get to it through the allowed URL list, which is found in the assessment details. I can tell you that I regularly have students that burn a lot of test time trying to figure out how to get to Desmos because they don't know where to find the allowed URL list. All right, and that's everything I had queued up for y'all. So HonorLock is a tricky process. If you're able to do this in the testing center, I would recommend you do so. There is a practice test that I built in. I really encourage you, budget some time, take that practice test like the first day or two if you're planning on using HonorLock. Try the practice test early. Don't procrastinate the practice test because I don't want you to run out of time. I don't want you to find out last minute, oh, there's an issue, I'm not able to get this to work. So if you're having any trouble navigating the process, please reach out. I'm happy to help.